What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Ben Thomas Show. Thanks for coming back. Today, I'm going to cover EXO-6 again, but a little differently. These are the 10 aliens that I want EXO-6 to make in 1/6 scale, and maybe a couple of characters significantly that go with that species. So stick around. If you guys like the video, hit the like button, smash the subscribe if you're new to the channel, and let's get into it. Starting off in slot number 1 needs to be Klingons. Klingons are one of my favorite Star Trek aliens that exist in the canon. And there's a few figures that I'd love to see EXO-6 tackle. One, of course, is Krug, played by Christopher Lloyd. He is coming soon from the Search for Spock, so that is a win 100%. What about General Chang? Or Chancellor Gorkon? Or, of course, Worf. You cannot have a Star Trek lineup without Worf. The number 2 species is not really a species. It's an amalgamation of many species that have been assimilated and turned into drones. Now, there's a few characters that I'd like to see EXO-6 make from the Borg. And the Borg, certainly not Swedish. I'd love to see maybe figures like Ensign Lynch, which would be a deep cut. Hugh, the Borg Queen. Or of course, unnamed drones. We can't have Locutus of Borg coming without some unnamed drones to stand at his side in those regeneration alcoves. Number 3 has to be the Romulans. Now, even though Romulans are extremely close to Vulcans, I think that the Star Trek The Next Generation outfits for Romulans were some of my favorites. And I think you could make some pretty iconic characters, like Nero, for example. Or you could have some relatively generic figures that were pretty cool in the Romulan species. I would dig that. So they make the list. Number 4 would have to be the Gorn. Unique for their appearance, absolutely. They made their showing in the original series, and we've seen them, I think, once or twice since then. But they're very unique looking, and it would make for a really standout piece in a 1/6 scale Star Trek collection. So Gorn has to be on the list for EXO-6 to consider. Number 5 for me has to be the Nausicin race. They had a standout role in the episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, The Tapestry, where Picard, at the beginning of the episode, gets fatally injured and goes to what's perceived as heaven, where Q stands there waiting for him. Picard, thinking this must be a joke, asks Q, "How are you here? You are not God." Q, of course, makes Picard think that he may actually be, in fact, God, and puts Picard on a path through his youth, and gives him an opportunity, a second chance, to not get stabbed through the back and have his heart destroyed in a Nausicin bar fight when he's young, and instead live a healthy, hearty life. What Picard doesn't realize is that that life and death event in his youth is what shaped him to become the man he was. By choosing a different path, by choosing not to fight the Nausicans in that bar, he becomes somebody who is a lower level, doesn't really have any aspirations. And that is not Picard. The Tapestry is a fantastic Star Trek The Next Generation episode. You have to watch it if you've not seen it. Number 6 for me is an odd one. They're called the Illyrians. This species, known for their very long age, of course become very wise in that time. So who am I speaking about? That's right, Guinan, played by the very iconic actress Whoopi Goldberg in Star Trek The Next Generation. She's a badass player on the Enterprise. A great bartender, a coach for Picard a sounding board. And someone Q is afraid of, which doesn't happen very often. There's some mystery surrounding Guinan, but I would love to have her in my 1/6 scale collection, so she makes the list. Number 7 would be the Hirogen from Star Trek Voyager. Now, no specific character in mind, but I love the armor set that the Hirogen have, and they're known as hunters in the Delta Quadrant. So they've got a badass appeal to them. They're scary, scary individuals. And of course, still no match for Captain Catherine Janeway and her crew. But still cool. I would love to see a 1/6 scale figure. Number 8 would have to be the Cardassians. Now, I would say that I'd love to see Dukat the most, or quite honestly, Gul Madrid. And there's a few other pretty iconic Cardassian figures in the Star Trek verse. But the episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, Chain of Command Part 1 and 2, sees Jean-Luc Picard not only get captured by the Cardassian, but also tortured. And it's a very deep episode. I don't even want to give anything away. Do yourself a favor, Star Trek fans out there, rewatch that episode, Chain of Command Part 1 and Part 2. But Dukat or Gul Madrid from that iconic episode would need to be in the collection, and at least 4 lights standing in behind him. Number 9 would be a race called the Talaxians. Now really, most specifically, I would just want a Neelix. If we're gonna get the Star Trek Voyager crew from EXO-6, I think we need a Neelix. Yes, he has some annoying episodes, but I love the actor, and there was a lot about Neelix that I really enjoyed. So, he makes the list as a unique alien anyways. That would look cool in the collection in my opinion if you had a cool Star Trek setup in your man or woman cave. And lastly, for number 10, I would say Species 8472. No specific character, but Species 8472 is known in the Delta Quadrant to have defeated the Borg. And out of desperation, the Borg actually have to reach out to Captain Catherine Janeway for help, or they'll face elimination. Species 8472 is a cool looking species and would be one heck of an EXO-6 character. I don't know if they could honestly even pull it off. Challenge accepted, Nanjin? Challenge accepted? Let's see. Species 8472 is number 10. And that concludes my list of the top 10 aliens I'd really like to see EXO-6 try and tackle. Now, did I miss a few? Oh yeah, there's a ton of aliens in the Star Trek universe. So what would you guys like to see? What ones did I miss? Love to hear from you in the comments down below. If you like the video, hit the like button for me, smash the subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, everybody.